Good morning everyone, I'm Bren and welcome to this week's garden update, the second one of winter 2022. And when you hear winter you might think, oh, there's not much to look at or do around the garden this time of year, but that's not the case here in New South Wales, Australia. We are so fortunate that our growing season is 12 months of the year and there's always a lot to get up to. So this week I have been busy out here in my patch. I put up that new greenhouse. Well, it's not completely complete and I'll go through that with you in a minute. Plus we'll take a look at the raised garden bed area that has been cleared out. That was done with the help of my friend who I mentioned to you last week. And we'll take a look at those spring flowering bulbs which I purchased about a month or so back. Give you an update on that because there's signs of growth. So please just sit back and relax for a few minutes and let's get into it now. So here's what my new greenhouse is supposed to look like, and this is the stage that I'm at with it. I've put together the main frame, which took about an hour and a half, 2 hours, which may seem a bit long, but I'm telling you, the instructions, there wasn't even any written instructions. If I can find them, I'll pop a picture up now. It was pretty much just a diagram with arrows and so many of these pieces. I was trying to figure out which was which. Anyway, I got there eventually with them. Now, the issue I'm having at the moment is this, the cover. Anyone who has put together one of these greenhouses will know that if you don't have the frame exactly like correct, where all the pieces are joined perfectly together, this won't go over the top correctly. And I'll show you, actually I'll put it on now and show you. It's just not aligned and the zippers won't come down, so it's not going to keep the warmth in during the cold winter mornings. So I just had to stop because I was just doing my head in, to be honest. I gave myself a break. I might work on it again this weekend, we'll see. But let me put this on so you can see what I'm talking about. So here's the cover on it, and you can see there's big gaps at the end. The front section, the zipper area, won't even close up. Yeah, won't even pull down there. Please excuse the weeds, that's another area that's overgrown that I have to get on top of. All I need to do to resolve this issue and get this cover on it correctly is to go around to all the joint areas and get them a push together like this. And there will be some sections that I've probably missed that are a bit looser. Where I have this currently located is not going to be its permanent spot, and that is because it doesn't receive enough of the winter sun here, especially because it's located beside the orange tree, and the orange tree just casts a bit of a shadow on this location. But I am thinking I might move it over to the raised garden bed area. Let's go over and have a look there now. I'm thinking of putting it over here around the side of these beds in this spot, which may be a good location because it has a bit of protection from the wind. You have the fence there, a few trees behind it, and this big patch of purple fountain grass. I just need to clear the area a little bit more, dig out those plants, and I think that will be the perfect spot. I know last week that I said to you that I would show you how I make modifications to that greenhouse to make it more secure and anchor it to the ground, but unfortunately I'm so sorry I haven't got around to doing that yet. So hopefully next Friday we'll be able to go through those steps. Here it is from a different spot, so the greenhouse will go over there, and I think it will look quite nice in that location and easy to, you know, transplant seedlings that are growing in there, popping them straight into these beds. And boy, have I got a lot of empty beds that I can fill up. But before I do that, as you can see, the soil level has dropped quite a lot on them, so I do need to replenish that and amend the beds with some compost and manures. Lots to do. As I said, you're always kept really busy out here in the garden during winter. Oh my goodness, but how exciting is that, having this many empty beds to play around with? And here is a lot of seedlings that I can put in there. My big messy area that haven't really tidied up in a long time. But there's so many to choose from, heaps of flowers and edibles too. I might actually start popping in some of these trays, like I've got spinach and beetroot, spring onions, bok choy and lettuce. For any of you who don't live here in Australia, you may not be aware, but at the moment there's a bit of a lettuce shortage, which is something I didn't really think about until the other day when I was making a chicken Caesar salad for dinner and I was looking for some iceberg lettuce. I had to go into 2 different supermarkets before I got some, and they were only tiny little heads and very expensive. Usually I don't grow iceberg lettuce, I just tend to grow the buttered lettuce, which isn't very crisp. It wouldn't really be great for a chicken Caesar salad, so maybe I need to add some iceberg lettuce onto the list. I don't know, we'll see. Here are some of the seeds I sowed a few weeks back. Some of them haven't even germinated, others are doing quite well. Like this is a lovely calendula Pacific mix, and then I have some paper daisies and statice there. But look at this one. Not one single seed has germinated in this tray, and it's probably my fault because even looking at it now, it's quite dry. I haven't been watering it as much as I should have, so I need to get on top of that. But I think once I get this greenhouse up, put them in, that will really motivate me to like really put some effort into growing these seeds. On these 4 trays, 5 actually, I'm trying to start my ranunculus. Nothing is happening yet, but hopefully once I get them in the greenhouse too, they'll start to take off. Oh my goodness, I just had the water meter guy come here. He wanted to know where the meter was. The poor guy couldn't find it because it's so overgrown in this garden. It was actually underneath some bush. Yeah, sometimes I think when I do these videos, I'm talking to the camera. Oh, it makes me nervous because I think if someone came to me, they must think I'm crazy talking to myself. So I don't know what was going through his mind when he was listening to me going on about my seedlings. Here are all the pots where I have those spring flowering bulbs in, the daffodils, jonquils, Dutch irises, and this week I am able to show you some exciting sprouts. Look at this. Not in many of the pots, maybe about 2 of them, like this one over here. There are a few that are breaking through the soil, and another indication that I know more are on the way is when you see the soil level kind of mound. That's usually a sign that underneath there's something trying to push up, like some lovely fresh green shoots. I've just let the chickens out for the day, and look what I just noticed when I was passing by these 2 blueberry plants. Down here, a lot of the roots are exposed. The girls have got in here and scratched around that part of the plant, so I'm going to have to come in and cover them up. That's really not good if those roots are exposed, and I don't want to lose these 2 beautiful blueberry bushes which I was gifted by Christina, and actually I haven't shown you guys them in a while. They have put on a huge amount of growth. They're looking fantastic. Hey girls, I've got a question for you. Did you 3 scratch around our blueberry bushes? Did you? Because I can see a lot of roots and I don't know who else would have done that. They don't care. Look where they are now, right over beside my carrot bed with the fennel. There's Snowflake. Oh, I have to put the camera down for a second and cover these up because it won't take much for them to scratch up these baby carrots or any of the beetroot that's growing in this bed. I just grabbed this wire mesh to cover up the carrots, and I'll pop a few twigs around the beetroot. Oh, that's a bit better. Pop the rest of these in. They won't be able to get to any of these plants now, thank goodness, and they're over there now. I don't mind them digging up that section because it's just a load of weeds and rubbish. I'm okay with them turning that around, but I don't want them going in here. Well, I think that's about it for this week, everyone. Thank you so much for watching until the end. And if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing, liking and sharing this video. I've got plenty of more. I've been making videos. This is my 4th year. I post every Friday. I think I've only missed a couple along the way. So you can go and check them, see what I've been up to over the years and how much this garden has come on and how much, crossing my fingers, it will develop into the future. Well, stay safe everyone. See you again next Friday.